when I got married, I didn't tell my mother. I wrote her, but I didn't tell her to come to the wedding. Surprise, surprise, his mother and family came to the wedding in Virginia. Mama found out, and that was hell to pay.
Oh, I know. Welcome to the Degrees of Success podcast. I'm your host, Frida Richards, and today we have an incredible guest, Major Griffin. She's a World War II veteran, an Air Force officer, and her life has recently been put on the big screen on a movie called 6888.
I finished the Army, and then they were wanting people in the Air Force, and so I got moved to the Air Force. And Fort Huachuca is where I started out, and that's where I got my commission.
That's where I was born.
Fort Huachuca?
Yes, ma'am.
You're kidding.
Yes, ma'am. I was born in Fort Huachuca.
Oh, my God. Do you remember such things as a house along the railroad track?
I don't. I was born there, but because I'm an Army brat, my mom left. We went to Germany and like a few other places. So I actually don't think I've been back.
Oh, I see. Well, they took us to Fort Huachuca on the train.
Wow.
And I remember they actually had cooking things and everything from Des Moines to Fort Huachuca. And when we got there, they had a barracks that they had all ready for us. And we took our exams for when I became an officer.
Wow.
And all the people who passed stayed there to go on to the next station.
Oh, I see.
But that was all Army at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I ended up in Des Moines, back in Des Moines, Iowa. And that's where I met a lot of the ladies. And I guess the rest is history.
Quite literally history, right? Well, let's talk about some of that history.
Before the Air Force was the Army people in England.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in England. I can't remember the name of the number of people at that time, but that's where I began to meet a lot of these people.
A lot of the people.
Yeah, but all of these are before. This is Army, and this is Army.
Okay. Very cool. Well, let's talk about this because
that was standing outside of our barracks, and you can probably imagine that's me.
Yes.
And this one was from California, I know, and these two, it's in Texas, I know, but I can't remember.
Texas. Oh, okay. Okay, so they're from Texas.
But we all met at the base in England.
Wow.
And then we went from there to France.
From there to France. So this is a picture of you and some of the women from 6888. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the stories that you have here with these women, like were these your closest friends? Were these your close friends?
Not too much, because these girls, this one was because she was from New York, and I was one of the few in that group that was from New York.
Oh wow! Okay.
After I got my commission, I was supposed to go to an assignment in North Africa, but the commander did not want a woman squadron commander. And in those days, they could say, no, I don't want that person.
Right.
And but later on, I met him, and he says, where have I seen you? And I said, well, I was supposed to go to your company, and you didn't want a woman squadron commander. And he says, oh, and he apologized.
Well,
Of course, this was years later.
Well, I'm glad he recognized his wrong. I'm glad he recognized his wrong. What was that like, being a woman, a Black woman, in serving the military, serving the U.S., in a country that didn't necessarily provide equality to all at the time?
You see, you had quite a few other people who were in the same boat, because we would take it in as a group. So there were a lot of Black women together. And it wasn't until later on, when things got different in the service, that you began to be in a mixed group. But most of the time, everything that we participated in, it was Black. And then Mrs., I can't think of her name, Mrs. Roosevelt, and this Black lady they were very good friends. And they came to visit us at the post. And at that time, we were separated. The Black woman was in one place, but they put us together just for their visit at that time. Well, they found out anyway. And it was between her and this lady that we were put together at that time. And we were there, I don't know. Well, I don't know how long, from New York. We took tests.
Okay.
And they said there were 7 Black women and all the rest were white. And what would happen was that you take the test, and then they tell you to either go to a restaurant or something like that. And when we did, we waited to get the result of the test. And we got the results, and they showed all 7 Black women had failed. That was almost impossible because you had a professor, you had many women who were teachers, and of course me, who was nothing. I was just out of high school. And that's when Mrs. Roosevelt and this lady were a friend. She heard about it because her husband worked for Mrs. Roosevelt at the White House. And she told her about it. So the next thing we knew, we were told to report to 39 Whitehall Street because we were going to Des Moines. And that's the first we knew that we were going to be together instead of separate.
How did that feel for you?
I don't know. I just didn't like being naked in front of white.
Oh.
You had to take your fingers holes and all that sort of thing. And that was new to me.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you volunteered to go into the military. Tell me why you chose to volunteer after high school.
My mom didn't want me to go in the service. She just cried. She just carried on. And at the time, this is what the other people were doing, and I thought I should do my part too. So I went down to 5th Avenue in New York and put in application to go in the service, and that's how it all started.
So tell me about your mom, because I was doing my research and I know that this is a fantastic woman, and I imagine she has definitely inspired you to be exactly who you are today. So tell me more about her and how she inspired you.
My mom was born in New Orleans. And she lost her mother when she was a baby. And she had a father to try to take care of her and cousins and all that sort of thing. And that's how she was while she was in New Orleans, she met my husband, my father, and he had difficulty. He had kind of a drinking problem and tried to take care of children. So his cousins and everybody tried to take care of us. But my father and grandmother lived in Lafayette, Louisiana. And that's when we went to Lafayette to live in that school that I was telling you. This school. It's actually behind us.
Oh, okay. So that's a picture of you all in front of the school.
And we with my grandparents from there on. And she would just come and see us ever so often. And that's how we got started. But insofar as the service was concerned, the first time that we went was when when the war started, and I was in England twice. They were sending me to this place, and this commander didn't want a woman commander. He didn't mind women in his outfit, but he didn't want a woman commander. And because I had got my commission then, I'd gone to school for that. And it took a while, to get adjusted to the different places that they sent us.
Right.
I was telling the story to someone about being in the Riviera. And they said, well, what do you do down in the Riviera? I said, well, we had a pass. He said, you mean you guys got to go to places to vacation and all that? I said, well, we had to have time off. We worked and we serviced the mail and all that sort of thing. And so I wanted to go to the Riviera, and that's how we had. And that's a couple of one of the movie stars was married to one of the gentlemen at the place we went. And then we met some guys we knew from some other. You just meet people all over the place.
Yeah, that's one of the best things I think about being, I'm an Army brat, but being a military, whether it be child or in the military, is that it's easy for you to network and to talk to people and to meet people.
We took advantage of whatever they offered us, and we took advantage.
Absolutely.
So I was listening to the radio in Paris. And I said, hey, girls, I think we're going home. And one girl said, well, how do you know that? She said, oh, she's from Lafayette, Louisiana. They speak French. And so that evening we called my boss, who was in England at the time. And she says, yes. She said, drop everything. We're going home.
Wow.
I mean, there were lots of things that happened. I'm probably not having it in the proper order.
Well, you're telling it the exact way it's supposed to be told.
The Air Force thing came much later.
Well, tell me, for anyone who hasn't watched the movie, yet, since
I have seen.
You have seen the movie?
Most of it, yes.
Oh, you've seen most of it. Okay.
And a lot of it is true. But Charity Adams was our boss, and there were two of us girls were always going someplace, and she was concerned as to where we were going. And she'd come in at night, and she's sitting in the window saying, well, did you girls have a good time?
She was looking out for you guys.
Yeah, she was looking out. There were about four of us who were about 20, 21, at the time. And also she was very upset about those girls getting killed.
Yeah.
And I was upset because I was in charge and I should have known where they were, but I didn't know they had took off with these guys.
Right.
And I understand that all of the girls have, but one, has been returned to the States, but her parents apparently didn't pick her up. My boss was most upset because when the soldiers died overseas, they put them in a shelter half. Do you know what a shelter half is?
No, tell me.
Well, it's what they buried the soldiers in on the battlefield. And so my boss said, well, we're not going to do that.
No.
So one of the officers in the other outfit, they found some place to buy caskets. And they made caskets.
Wow.
But my boss wouldn't let me go because she said I had been through too much.
And I believe you were telling me earlier that you had to identify the young ladies. Is that right?
Yes, these are the same girls I identified. And we had a doctor, and he also had a sister who was in the service in our outfit. So he took care of a lot of helping us to get adjusted. Wow. But it was hard. Most of the places, we did our own work. But at that one place in France, we had German prisoners who did all the work. They did all the cooking and everything.
Okay.
The sergeant, they reported for work. The girls had to have their hair combed and wash their face and all that sort of thing before they went in the dining hall.
Goodness.
Oh, that was fun in France. It was in a town in France that I'll never forget. But there were so many things. I'm sure I don't have all of them in order. We got down to Germany, and I got sick while I was in Germany. So I was in the hospital for, I guess, a couple of weeks or something. And my boss said to my husband, at that time, I'd be great. See, that's why I said I don't have things in order, because I had gotten married by that time. I had met my husband.
So before you tell me about the hospital, I promise you I'll bring you back there. I wanted to talk about Roy. Can you tell me how you two met?
And it gets mixed up in my mind sometimes as to where I was at certain times, and all.
Yeah. Things get mixed up in my mind all the time, so you were not alone in that. But I know that you and Roy had an incredible love story.
Oh.
Can you share it with us?
I guess. He was from Ohio, from Pittsburgh, and he went to school at Oberlin College in Ohio. And we met in a town in California. We were going to classes. They were always sending me to school somewhere. And I had been playing golf because I'd learned to play golf in England.
Okay.
And I got to the door, and two guys were standing there, but I couldn't get through. So I, please, may I? Could you let me? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Well, then it became a friendship, because then they'd wait for me to come by to go for food, And would you like to have a drink? Well, I didn't like German drinks, so and it was funny because there were times when I wasn't particularly interested, but I thought he was kind of cute.
I'd have to agree. He's very handsome.
Then he began to not sit with the other guys. He'd wait until I came in, and then he'd come and sit with me at the dining table. And that's how that started. But the letters I found, just as recent as about a week ago, the letters he used to write me, because we were in he was in Virginia, and I was in Des Moines. And so we wrote letters that it didn't seem, I told Mama, I said, well, it doesn't seem like anything's happening. So,
Because you didn't get any letters.
yeah, but later on it did happen, and we got together. And the letters, they'll tell you more than I can tell you.
And so you just recently found letters?
Oh, I'm trying to get rid of stuff.
Oh, good.
We accumulate so much stuff
So true.
as you move, and you take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point you say, I got to get rid of a lot of that stuff. And some of the letters that he wrote me that I found. Because I always told people he never proposed.
No. How did he get so lucky to be your husband then?
Well, I don't know, but there was a party, and there were several people getting married. I thought that's the way it was done.
Oh.
You went to a party, and they're getting married. Well, we'll get married or something.
Really?
I was really dumb.
How old were you?
Yeah, and then I found this letter recently, about a month ago, where he definitely had proposed in one of his letters. Oh. So I said, well, that takes care of that.
He did it.
Yeah. But it's kind of hard to tell the story because there were several things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we got a chance for a pass or something, we'd take it. And one was to Brussels, Belgium. We'd heard about this little boy who got lost. They were from Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on pass to go to Paris. We were always on pass to go somewhere, although we did our work. And we said, let's go up to Belgium. It's a place where people go, the big bands and all stuff in Paris and also in Belgium and all. We never spent a cent.
Really?
People just bought whatever they knew from the military, and they would, take care of our meals, dances. I can't name all of the guys who played in these bands and these different countries, and we got to meet an awful lot of them. And I don't know. It's hard to tell because there's so many things that did happen.
Yeah.
But I have been to Belgium. I've been to Paris. I've been to Germany. I was in the hospital in Germany.
But you did a whole bunch of traveling with you and your husband, which is amazing. So you've seen the whole entire world.
We traveled a lot in the States. We hardly ever visited Louisiana. When I got married, I didn't tell my mother. And I wrote her, but I didn't tell her to come to the wedding. But surprise, surprise, his mother and family came to the wedding in Virginia. Mama found out, and that was hell to pay.
Oh, I know.
But we soon got it straightened out, and I did think the world of my mother-in-law. We got along real well, and we traveled. California, I think she enjoyed Vegas more than any place because she liked bingo.
Oh, okay.
And so
Vegas is a good place for that.
That was right down the line. Then my husband would call up when we were traveling somewhere, and he said, "Let me see where the girls are now." And in Vegas, what you doing in Vegas? But in between, we did a lot of work.
I'm confident of that.
Because we were very involved in trying to see that the men got the mail as often and as much. And I don't know if you've seen some other pictures where it shows the girls sorting the mail.
We absolutely have those photos, and we'll definitely make sure that we show them. I want to talk about the work because what you've done has just been transformative. And if it wasn't for what you had done, getting the letters to those serving, I don't know if they would have had the passion or the energy to be able to succeed in the way that they did. So can you tell me about the work? Tell me what you did with 6888.
Well, of course, I was an officer then. So when we were sent to England the first time, they put us in an old broken down school. And the girls actually worked hard, paid it, did all the things that to make it look reasonable. Yeah. Now, we officers were lucky. They rented houses for us.
Oh, okay.
And we lived across the street from where the girls were. That's when we got our boss.
Adams?
She let the girls have as much freedom as possible to work with the mail because many times we couldn't find the people and we had to go through the mail and hope that, And then there are times when they had a whole batch of stuff that if Grandma sent you cookies, you might got apples or something like that, and so the girls would put it aside, and if they couldn't find a person, they sent something, whether it was what Grandma sent or not.
Oh.
And no, we gave them that privilege.
That's
to
so
do
nice.
That.
Yeah.
Because it was very hard. Because it was hard to get the mail through. And that's one of the reasons why they sent us there, because the English were doing it, but they were not doing a very good job. And it took us a long time to get that straightened out with trucks and everything, bringing the mail and just dropping it. And maybe in some of the old pictures, you'll see places where the girls are sitting and sorting the mail and doing things. But in that old schoolhouse, and they had kind of made it like a nice place to go by the time they finished painting and doing all the things to make it look nice.
They made it look nice.
But as I said, now our quarters were across the street from where the girls worked. I didn't work. I was supervised, but I didn't work. And you put somebody out there at night, because we had 3 shifts. Okay. We put somebody there at night to make sure that the girls were safely crossing the railroad tracks and things like that. I mean, there were a lot of little things that people wouldn't think of that had to be attended to. And from then on, it was you move from one station to another. There were a few marriages. When we got together, how we're going to get our hair done, that kind of thing.
Right.
For Black women.
Yes. So how did you accomplish that?
We did it. We learned, and we helped each other. Because there was nowhere to go to have this done. Our families would send things to do your hair, and the girls did their own.
Wow.
I think so. So I mean, you don't know how much you do when you have to.
Right.
And this is a lot of what went on. The old school, when the principal. Former principal came to visit, he didn't even know the school because the girls, they had paid it, they had done all kinds of things to make it look decent. And those are the conditions that we worked under, which they really enjoyed, because they were doing something besides looking at that mail all the time.
I see.
But it was very difficult to get the mail through because many people never got anything. And those people were on this list. The girls made a list, and whenever they found that they couldn't find somebody, they'd look on the list where they could send something to somebody who didn't get anything.
Really?
That kind, yeah.
That's so thoughtful.
And that's, like in addition to the things, our regular duties, these are things that the girls came up with themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, and there were things like going to London, and I got to see Winston Churchill come out of his quarters, and we had hoped to see the Queen, but they wouldn't let us get that close. But on the weekend, we'd go to London, we'd go to the theater, or go out to dinner or something like that, and then catch the train and go back to our quarters back in the town that we were living in.
You guys were so thoughtful in making sure that everyone had something. If grandma's apples expired, you still got them something nice. If someone didn't get a letter, they still sent them something. Those things are so very thoughtful, and I imagine was very powerful for the people who did receive those things. What would you say you were most proud of?
Most of the things that I'm telling you were things that we did to do our job and amuse ourselves. Like I learned to play golf in England.
I think that is so very cool. Are you good at it? Are you good at golf?
I haven't played in a long time, but over into the next place that we were, you got to travel and meet people. Yeah. We had a priest who worked with all the girls all the time, and so I said, well, when did you work? You worked every day because we had 3 shifts. And when there was a general who came by and he wanted to see all of the girls, and that's in one of the articles there. I have some of the things that we amused ourselves with and all, and that I think you would enjoy, because we weren't always sitting down doing mail.
Right. So tell me the other things you were doing. So I know it was golf. And what else?
And we got the hair done.
Yes, that's right.
The people set the implements, and they did each other, did themselves, and I think they'll say, well, what else did you do? Well, Sarge mail. That's what we were there for.
That was the most important thing.
Yeah. But Eddie, to tell you about this one colonel, general, who came by, he wanted to see the whole group. Well, there's a lot of women who were there, and we had 3 shifts.
Right.
So he showed her 2 shifts, showed him 2 shifts. And he says, well, I thought there was 3 shifts.
Right.
And so she says, well, there is. She says, well, we have 3 shifts because we can't get them all at one time.
They have to sleep.
Oh, he says, oh, well. And that's in one of the articles. And he says, oh, well, since you can't handle this, he says, I'll send a white girl in here to straighten this place out. And so our boss said, go right ahead, sir. He says, you have my permission. But later on, this was another apology. Years later,
I'm sure of it.
The 2 of them met. But he said he wasn't going to put up with somebody telling him he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that. Well, she never brought all of us out at one time. She brought a certain amount, and that's all we could do.
Was this Captain Adams?
Major Adams.
Major Adams, forgive me.
Adams, yeah.
Major Adams.
Yeah, that was our boss.
So I was watching.
Most of the time, she was my boss wherever I was. France, England, Germany, and Spain. Yeah, because that's where we were stationed.
Spain.
While I was in the hospital in Germany, my husband and the boss flew up to see me.
So when you were sick in Spain,
Yeah.
And that's when you were in the hospital for a while?
Well, there was a hospital there, but they didn't have the things that they should have had for whatever I had.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me up to Germany.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And I was there for about 2 months. And
oh my goodness.
so my husband and the colonel, Major Adams, came up to see me. They had difficulty, and they arrived like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and they told them that they could only stay a certain length of time. Well, that didn't last because I don't know what Major Adams did, but they didn't leave till 10 o'clock that night.
They were going to stay. I love that.
But I forgot to tell you that we were in Spain.
In Spain?
In Spain quite a while.
Wow.
The Navy is very particular about their personnel, officers especially, going in their clubs and how they're dressed.
Okay.
And I had to, the clothing for the Navy came into our warehouses, and we were to distribute them to the Navy. Well, my boss said, I got to send somebody over and take these clothing for the Navy over to Italy. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Italy? I said, no, sir, I've never been to Italy. So he says, well, he wrote out paperwork and everything, and next thing you know, 2 days later, I was on my way to Italy. But they couldn't understand why I didn't have the type of paperwork that you normally have. We just had paperwork. We didn't have the what do you call it? Passport.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And, well, we had a little trouble getting in there. That's all right. Our quarters and everything was ready. We got to get these Navy people their clothing. Mm-hmm. The boss had put extra time on it. He should put 4 days on it, and it really should have taken us only 2 days.
So you had some time in Italy.
Yeah, so he said, well, why not? He said, you got to go right out to Italy. And we had fun. 2 hours, we had delivered all that clothing.
In 2 hours, and you had 3 days left.
3 days left. So that's how I got to Italy.
That's awesome.
And so what was the nearest thing? Go get a train ticket and go to Rome.
Yes.
And that's how we got to Rome. And I got to see the Pope, not personally, but in his window. I don't know if you've seen pictures of him in the window. And I got to see, that part. And that's how I got to Italy.
Wow.
Yeah. But you took advantage of whatever opportunities you had. If they're sending you to someplace, whatever is there. Well, what's there?
Yeah.
What can we go see?
I feel like you gave the definition to when in Rome.
And so people want to know how we existed. Mm-hmm. If that's how we existed. When there was something going on in any place, what else is there? And that's how I got to learn to play golf. Because there was the students who came from the States to go to school in Europe. We were having a picnic. They speak English, so we speak English. We're in England. Okay, and to find out they were students and they were hungry, and of course we gave them most of our food. And that was another experience, We tried our darndest to take advantage of what was available there. Lately I've heard, but I don't know, I didn't see it, the town that that we lived in in England is now a museum. The whole town.
The whole town
is a museum, and that's where I learned to play golf. I can look at things like that, you know.
Wow.
But we did a lot of work. We had to. It was awful hard to try to get that mail through.
Yeah.
And there were so many men who were so upset, especially young men who had young wives, who had children back in the States and everything.
Right.
And it was hard on them. And as I told you, whatever chance we got, if we couldn't find somebody, we never threw anything away. No, like cookies and candies and all that sort of thing. We never threw it away because there was always somebody who didn't get anything.
Right.
And so we'd fix it for give it to you. And that's what my boss was telling this Curlin. He couldn't talk to him at that time. But she said, I apologize. I am so sorry. He says, but I didn't know what you guys went through to get this mail to the people, all over Europe.
My goodness. And somehow that brings us to the end of this episode of Degrees of Success. I'm your host, Frida Richards, reminding you that your next chapter might just be your best one yet. See you soon.